video is a form of an important form of storytelling. Hell, where were we 20 years ago? It was video was the most important form of storytelling. The joke is that we've kind of come full circle. And we still can't even admit it. We're like pretending that this is something new. Now, not everyone is. The digibabblists are, though. And it's actually, I find it pathetic. Long form, short form, so what's, you know, you start talking to people, what's long form? Basically, it's a 60-second commercial. Now, to us, long form was like 3, 4, 5-minute direct marketing thing that we used to do in video, by the way, at 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning. You used to make a lot of money from that stuff. It's just funny that all of a sudden you have video. Of course, it's video, because it's an incredible medium. So what do I expect to see? I think that the work has gotten much better, because if you go back 8 years ago or so in Cannes, go back about 8 years ago, I think the work wasn't all that good, because people didn't think they needed to tell stories, and they thought it was all about the technology. So they did stuff that was just so weird, because it was always about the technology. Now, what did McLuhan say? The medium is the message. Well, yeah, the medium is the message. We get it's about technology, guy. Like, get over it. We know it's digital. Just like, tell us a freaking story. That's what we want to hear. And I think we've gone back to that. I think the past couple of years, some of the work has been spectacular, because people are focused on the storytelling. Now, by the way, they have to be, because the myth that user-generated content was going to replace everything else, and I say the myth, has not just been myth, it's a disaster, because YouTube can't monetize the cat peeing on your shoes. Now, they thought that was the greatest content in the world, and maybe it got 1 million shares. But frankly, who cares? Who cares? Because nobody wants to be associated with it. So I think what we're going to see is a continuation of great content, really well produced, because high production values are back in vogue. The craft, the part of Cannes that revolves around craft, I find to be astounding. Some of the work is just amazing and amazingly beautiful and smart. A lot of insight. So you're going to see data being used not just to target, to micro-target, but data being used to derive insights about audience and about motivation and about values and things, so that the work is even smarter and better. So that's what I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see some great work.
And how does the social platforms kind of steer or impact your creative process? I mean, it's not just 30-second spots, and some things are very, very brief, in fact, and vertical, and so on.
Without a doubt, but that's always the case. So there's no 30, there's no 60, there's no 15, it's irrelevant, because what we call the 15 today could be 10. The beauty is you don't have to pay for the time in the same way we did. So you can make something 16 seconds, you make it 10, you can make it 5 seconds. It really doesn't make a difference, right? You can make it 60 seconds, 30, 2 minutes, do what you will. It's still the same, it's still a video that needs to be seen. And so what changes, obviously, by platform is the way you view it. So if you're coming down the Facebook feed, chances are, and just look yourself, chances are you're not going to pop the video. Maybe you're going to listen, maybe you're not, but if you've noticed, best practice is they put in a lot of subtitles. Otherwise, you'd have no idea what they're talking about. You can see the better advertisers today are way upfront about their product. Whereas if you go back 2 years, they were all thinking, oh, this is kind of social and Facebook, and I have to put in, and they would do this weird stuff, and you wouldn't find out what they were doing until 2 minutes in, except the problem being that nobody watched it for 2 minutes. Nobody was watching it for 20 seconds. So you had no idea what you were watching for 20 seconds, and you went on. So I think you have to be clear about what you're doing. And I think people are getting savvier about it, because they get, for example, look what happened with Fire, with the Fire Festival. I've been writing a lot about this. The fake news, which it is fake news, of these celebs and other influencers who get paid and sort of pretend that they're brand champions, but they're not. They're getting paid, except you don't know it because they're on social. If they were in a commercial, you'd know they were paid, and you would take it for what it was worth. And so you'd get that third-party semi-endorsement because of who they were versus this third-party endorsement because of what they're in, meaning that you think that they're actually part of this thing, because it doesn't say paid announcement. It doesn't say advertising, but it is. So to me, that's all fake news. So social is an issue. Social is going to be really interesting to see where that goes, because I think Fire was a major wake-up call for everybody in the industry about what you can and cannot do. And just take a look at the stuff they're running. I mean, most of the stuff is advertising. It's great. And it's not 30, 60. That's like just a bad way to look at it. It's just advertising, a good story about your brand. It's interesting. So call it branded content. Call it bite-sized, consumer, snackable piece of content. I don't care what you call it. It's still a freaking advertisement for your brand. So get over it and make it really good and interesting and sellable so it works. And I think the bigger issue, which is really interesting, in the social networks are, Twitter and the NFL, Amazon and the NFL, everybody looking at sports and whatever. But if you really pay attention, all they're buying are the streaming rights. Because if you think about it, what makes it great is not the fact that it's streaming to you, it's the actual production of it. So NBC, ABC, these guys, ESPN, whoever, they know how to produce that stuff. So it's not enough just to say, yeah, I'm going to stream it to you, and we'll get 50,000 people in the studio. Everybody's going to hold up in the stadium, and everybody will hold up their smartphones or their iPads or whatever and film what's going on and video it, and then we'll take those feeds and we'll quickly put it all in real time to you. Like, who cares? You want to have the best announcer. You want to see the best angles. You want to see the best of everything. And then the question is, how do you put advertising into that? So complicated, but great. It's like it's never been better. Honest to God, it's never been better.
The agency business, the media world, what?
I think just in general, the opportunities that exist. I think once you get over to me, the single biggest problem is the digibabble. And I keep saying this, and to me, it's true, right? Digital is everything. Not everything is digital. So get over it. If you read a newspaper in print form still, like some people still do, I don't, but many people still do, and it's fine to do it, it comes from a digital source. The fact that it's on paper is irrelevant. More people are going to restaurants than anybody ever thought would happen. We predicted restaurants were dead, right? Because everybody's going to be stuck in home, or they're going to be looking at their screens. Nonsense. They're out and about. Right? Whole neighborhoods are coming back. Retail's not dead either. Amazon is opening up a store right across the street from here. I love it. Every morning I look out my window, I look at that store, and I bow to Amazon and say, you guys are so much smarter than the rest of us. Everybody else is running the other way, and you guys you know what you're doing. And we're not even paying attention. I'd be paying more attention to why Amazon is opening a physical store than I would to their algorithm. Because I'd be asking myself, why? What do they know that I don't know? Why is everybody else thinking that they have to digibabble the way out of this? So I just think there's so much opportunity and so much going on, and the ability to take our real lives, which is the most important thing, the people first aspect, which is what we do. I don't think digital first. I don't think video first. I don't think mobile first. I think people first, and all the rest of that comes. Because you think about people and what they do. If I think about you and what you do, it leads me to the right answer. If I think about the other stuff, it just leads me to technology or something that's, could be relevant, but just as often isn't.